Hi, I'm Lindgren. This is the fourth in a series of videos chronicling my experience with kidney disease and the martial arts. Part 3 ended with me mentioning the word transplant. PD requires me to be on the machine 8 hours every night. Now, because I'm responding well, I only have to do 6 nights a week, but the full 8 hours a night. That presents some problems for traveling. Traveling is very possible. It just takes a little extra planning. If I do an overnighter, I don't really have to do much planning at all. I can take a night off. I mentioned the possibility of getting a transplant to the people that were taking care of me at the hospital, and they were skeptical because of my age, 70 at the time and now 71. They said unless I had a donor, there probably wasn't a good chance of me getting a transplant. I do not have a donor. We looked at other transplant centers and found UTMB was willing to test me and see if I could get on the transplant list. I'm currently going through the process. I have 2 more tests to take. I've been prodded and poked and blood drawn and everything else. My cardiologist there, he said, "Man, this looks like a healthy heart to me. It's probably good for another 30 years. As far as he's concerned, I'm a good candidate for a transplant. It's funny, they ask me during these tests, are you doing this to be a donor? And I have to laugh and just say, no, that would be nice. No, I need a donor. And they said, oh, because I don't look sick. Yes, I need a donor. Most of them say, if I had a donor, the odds of getting a transplant would go up astronomically. One person commented that she would give me a kidney, but she didn't think the transplant team would be interested in a 72-year-old kidney. I told the transplant team, and they said, actually, we prefer the kidneys to be close to the age of the recipient. I passed that information down the line, and she wrote back confirming what I had originally thought. She was trying to be sympathetic and caring and really had no intention of going through the process of becoming a donor. And I don't blame her for that at all. I appreciate her concern, and it's asking an awful lot for anyone to give up a kidney for me. I would have a lot of trouble trying to actually ask somebody for a kidney. There's risk involved to the donor. It just seems like an awfully big sacrifice. I thought, I'm doing so well on PD, maybe I don't even want a transplant right away, because then I've got surgery, recovery, rejection suppression drugs. It's a lot of work. And it's a lot of work for my wife or whoever else helps give me care, because when you receive a kidney, you're pretty dependent on others for a while. So do I really want to go through all that? Well, then it struck me, however well I'm doing on PD, as we know, my kidneys went south rather rapidly. And the same thing could happen to the effectiveness of the PD. My health could deteriorate pretty quickly. So I figured it's best to go through the process of getting on the transplant list. Then if my health takes a turn, I'm already on the transplant list. My kidneys seem to fail awfully quickly. Most people know for years that their kidneys are starting to fail. They do a lot of things to take care of them and make them last as long as possible. I didn't have that choice. I didn't have that opportunity. Mine were gone before I knew anything was wrong. All I can do now is dialysis and try to get on the transplant list. If I get on the transplant list, then I will probably start working a little bit harder at finding a donor. Who knows, one day I might get a transplant. But in the meantime, I'm happy. I'm healthy. Many of my dietary restrictions have been reduced because I'm responding so well to the treatment. That's the end of part 4. Part 5 is in the works.